Hi, welcome back to AFTV. I've got the two of the Forest fans with me. Forest Fan TV, big ups, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And listen, we got the win today, but I want to kind of get your assessment on the game. How was it for you?
Well, we didn't play that well. Obviously, we've got a lot of players out of AFCON, a lot of players out injured. So we had to play sort of different style to we'd normally like to play, which obviously was a low block. And it was a pretty boring game, if I'm honest.
Was that frustrating for you as a Forest fan to see your team at home do that, or did you understand it?
We understood it. We understood it. With the players we've got available, we understood it. Yeah. And Arsenal were typical Arsenal. I mean, I watched a lot of Arsenal, and they've got a lot of possession, a lot of passing it around, but that final, finish is not quite there yet, and that's what they need to get sorted.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I must say though, your atmosphere was brilliant. The fans very loud. There's a lot of back and forth. Me and Robbie were sat right next to the home fans. It was really good. But we started singing "Turner's one of our own" and saying Turner's a gooner.
He gave you one, didn't he? At that point. But I mean, from our point of view, like Ant just said, the game plan was what we expected, and I thought we were comfortable in that first half. Even though you had 80-odd% possession, you never really threatened us. And obviously, seeing Taiwo come back and start the second half gave us that boost.
He is a player, by the way.
He's an absolute player, and you can see the difference that he makes to the whole, fan base and everything. So everybody was waiting for him to come. It was a bit of a surprise that he came back today. We weren't expecting it at all, but. Long term, he will make the difference for us. But today was frustrating. But once he scored his goal, I felt that if we'd been a bit more clinical in the final third, we could have created a couple more chances and really put you under the cosh. Because I think you were nervous, weren't you, by that stage once we got our first goal?
Yeah, I'm not going to stand here and lie. I was. I mean, Awoniyi came on. I've never seen someone physically contest Saliba, and he really did, and I was just like, oh geez. So I was a bit nervy. Did you believe that Forest could nick another one?
Yeah, I mean, after we scored that first goal, then obviously the chances there, we knew we'd try and put something forward, and we did actually have another chance with Taiwo at the end, and Raya plucked it out of the air. Had Taiwo slightly missed it could have gone in, So I mean, the opportunity was there. It wasn't to be, and to be honest, Arsenal deserved to win. Obviously,
I respect that. I respect that because listen, for us, this ground is a difficult one to come to, and I respect the honesty there, because I think because we control possession so much, it feels right for you saying we deserve to win. But again, it could have went. I honestly thought it could have went either way. If Matt Turner obviously kind of missed his near post there, but it could have went either way. If we didn't score that and you got your one, it probably would have ended up a draw this game, which. I don't know, it'd have been frustrating to see, but how are you feeling going ahead off this performance? Are you quite confident when your players returning back? You've got a bit of confidence?
That's the key thing, and that's what we've got to bear in mind. I mean, you were up against two inexperienced central defenders. We've got Mbamidele and Murillo, both of them who've played in the Premier League for the first time. Mbamidele's only had 2 league games, hasn't he, so far? So, it was an inexperienced back line. I felt first half we controlled it really well. Even though you did have a possession, you didn't create any chances. And with the players coming back, we obviously got 7 players at AFCON as well. A few of them will be coming back this week. I'm positive, and Nuno. There's something about Nuno. He's got that magic touch, I think. And I think if we can just stay behind him. Obviously, there's a potential points deduction coming up as well. So we've just got to try and get the points on the board now and worry about that later.
I'd like to end with this question. I'll give it as well. Anything that surprised you today from either team? Because I was surprised. I shouldn't be surprised by Awoniyi because he scored against us when it was last year. So I shouldn't be surprised. But like I said, him physically outstrengthened Saliba at one stage, and I was surprised by how much of an effect he had, especially when he's come back from fitness as well. Played a lot of minutes, so I didn't even expect him to come on until towards the end. So that was my surprise. But your surprise from either side?
To be honest, no, not really. The game pretty much went as I was expecting. I sat there, I think a couple of times said to you, the game's going exactly how I expected. Arsenal having all the ball, not being able to finish, and we might spring the odd attack. And once Taiwo came on, that was a positive that could have gone our way, and it nearly did.
Almost did. What about you? Any surprises from your side?
That was probably the biggest surprise, to have Taiwo on the bench and ready to play, and Elanga back as well. I know these are players that have. Even this season made a difference when they've been on the pitch. So you can see Elanga's had 10 goal returns already this season, and Taiwo, when he plays, he scores. His strike rate is up there with any striker in the Premier League, and I'm sure a few of your guys were absolutely drooling over him. I'm sure you'd love him in your team, but he's a top player.
I mean, he is, and I wouldn't mind it. But listen, thank you very much, guys, and I hope you do stay up. I really do, genuinely.